I think we have to have a talk about your spending practices. You find a lot of...
Oh, I know.
How much have you spent on property the last 2 years, right?
Chris Doumitt just stormed off from Gold Rush, and it's a massive deal. This wasn't a subtle goodbye. Something wild went down in Season 15. Fans love Chris as the fix-it wizard. Every broken machine, every crisis, he kept Parker Schnabel's gold mining empire running like a dream. So, what pushed the most reliable guy in the biz to finally say, "I'm out"? This season, the stakes skyrocketed. Parker set a jaw-dropping target, 10,000 ounces of gold. That's a colossal goal, almost unthinkable, but Parker doesn't play small. To make it happen, he cranked up the intensity, firing up Big Red, the Rockosaurus, and every strategy in his arsenal all at once. On paper, it seemed genius. More equipment, more gold, right? Not exactly. Behind the chaos, the crew was stretched razor thin, and Chris bore the brunt. He reached his breaking point. What happened off-screen was far wilder than anyone saw coming, and trust me, more shocks are on the way. Want the freshest dirt? Smash that subscribe button before diving into the video. Chris has always been the unsung hero, keeping the gold flowing, quietly scrubbing sluice boxes, ensuring not a speck gets lost, and doing it across 3 wash plants without a breather. That's not just hard, it's grueling. He's not getting younger, and this relentless grind was wearing him thin. He once griped, "I hate when we're rushed, doing stuff we don't want, just to claw ounces from the dirt." You feel his frustration. He gave everything to this gig, but even the toughest hit a wall. If you followed Gold Rush, you know Chris doesn't complain lightly. This season, though, he had no choice. Speak out or break. No amount of skill could save him from being buried in work. The crew was spread too thin, and Parker wouldn't pull anyone off a machine to help in the gold room. That left Chris stuck. Then he pitched Tatiana Costa, a stellar operator, not your usual gold handler. Parker faced a choice. Pull her from the field, which Tyson wouldn't like, or risk losing Chris for good. Parker agreed. Tatiana began training to help out, but was it too late? Even with support, the pressure didn't ease. Parker's gold fever was still full blast, and the team was fracturing. Chris has been with Parker since Season 4. He started as a carpenter building cabins for Todd Hoffman, then became a gold mining rock star with Parker's crew. His gold room expertise smashed records year after year, but even legends have limits, and this season tested his like never before. Now fans are asking, can Gold Rush survive without him? He's been the backbone through every crisis, holding things together when chaos struck. But this time feels different. The exhaustion, the workload, the brutal pace, it's all piling up. For the first time, it seems like he might truly walk away. Gold mining is no game. It's raw, tough, and demands everything. But at some point you wonder, is it worth it? Chris has spent years keeping the operation ticking like clockwork, but if it's costing his health and sanity, maybe it's time to quit. That's the big question looming over this season. If he leaves, what happens to the crew? Chris has endured brutal seasons before, but this one's hitting harder. The gold room's a wreck, and Parker's chasing that insane 10,000-ounce goal. It's a beast of a challenge, and the pressure's crushing everyone, especially Chris. This veteran of the backbreaking grind might finally be done. Losing him would be massive. He's the guy who keeps everything from collapsing, the heart of the team. But gold has a way of pulling people back, and Chris isn't one to give up easily. He's been with the crew over a decade, doing more than just digging dirt. He ensures every tiny gold speck is counted, calms tensions when the team's about to crack, and keeps the operation steady. He didn't start as a miner, just a carpenter who fell into this wild world. But once in, he dominated, becoming one of the toughest out there. Now he's a rock in this chaotic gold-chasing machine. His big role, the gold room, where dirt becomes dollars. It's delicate work. One mistake, and money's gone. Chris has it mastered, ensuring nothing's wasted. Without him, their gold hauls wouldn't be half as impressive. In a game where every ounce matters, he's the one making it happen. But he's more than gold and numbers. Chris is the glue. "Hey, Mitch, how's it going?" "Not bad, good to see you, buddy." He's laid back, funny, and keeps the crew sane. Long hours, brutal weather, machines failing, mining's a battle, and tempers flare. Chris is who everyone leans on when it gets heavy. He's not just a morale lifter, though. He's a decision maker, trusted to fix equipment, handle drama, or find the best way to process gold. He's the calm in the storm. Then came the real test, running 3 wash plants at once to hit that wild 10,000-ounce goal. It was insane, and Chris took the hardest hit. He had to keep sluice boxes clean, gold secure, and nothing lost in the madness. It pushed him too far, and for once, quitting didn't sound crazy. He even said, "That 10,000-ounce goal, it's slipping. We could do it, but costs would jump 50%. You hear the doubt, is it worth it?" For the first time, it looks like he might really walk. They had to bring in extra help just to keep things from imploding. Without Chris, that huge 10,000-ounce goal? No chance. Chris's impact on Gold Rush is massive. He started as a rookie, clueless about mining, and became one of the most trusted in the game. His grit, loyalty, and knack for holding the crew together made him a fan favorite. If Parker's the face of the operation, Chris is the backbone, ensuring everything runs. Without him, things would look totally different, and everyone knows it. But here's the million-dollar question. After years of relentless work, crushing pressure, and chasing record-breaking hauls, is Chris ready to call it quits? Even the strongest can only take so much. If he walks, the team's in trouble, scrambling to fill a huge gap. If he stays, it's another season of pure exhaustion. Either way, big changes are coming. Is Gold Rush about to lose one of its all-time greats, or will Chris push through for one more shot at glory? One thing's clear, gold mining's never been this intense. Now let's talk Parker. He's never taken the easy road. His story didn't start with instant success. It began with a stubborn kid who wouldn't quit. Born in late July in the mid-90s in tiny Haines, Alaska, Parker grew up around dirt, heavy machines, and the endless chase for gold. His grandpa, John Schnabel, ran the Big Nugget mine, so while other kids played with toy trucks, Parker watched the real thing. Barely old enough to tie his shoes, he was learning to operate equipment most adults couldn't handle. By his teens, he balanced school and mining like it was nothing. Sure, he played basketball in high school, but his heart was always in the mine. College was a thought, maybe geology or mining studies, but classrooms couldn't hold him. Instead, he poured his savings into his own mining gig at just 16. He took over the Big Nugget mine. Imagine it, a teenager bossing around guys twice his age. Wild, right? But Parker wasn't just giving orders. He knew his craft. Mining's no walk in the park. It's a grind, a gamble, a fight against nature. He had the guts, smarts, and drive to make it work. Then came the big break. Gold Rush hit TV in the early 2000s, showing families risking it all for gold. Parker and his crew jumped in, and viewers were hooked on this teen miner defying the odds. Being on the show wasn't enough, though. In his late teens, he made a bold move, left the family mine, headed to the Yukon, and bet everything on his own operation. It was a massive gamble, but playing it safe? Not Parker's style. He leased land, bought gear, and got to work. It paid off huge. In his first solo season, he pulled over 1,000 ounces of gold from the ground. That's not luck, that's grit and skill. Every year, his operation grew bigger, bolder, better. His gold hauls piled up, proving he wasn't just riding his grandpa's name. He was the real deal. His story isn't just about mining. It's about showing age doesn't matter if you've got the skills and hustle. He didn't just survive, he dominated. Gold Rush was just the beginning. His success launched Parker's trail, where he went global, chasing historic gold routes from Canada's icy Klondike to Papua New Guinea's jungles. He didn't shy from tough spots. He sought them out. But it wasn't all golden victories. Life threw challenges, especially off the job. He dated Ashley Yule, an Aussie vet who appeared on the show, but the nonstop mining grind and TV spotlight ended the relationship. He's admitted he's terrible at balancing love and work. Mining always comes first. Even now in his 30s, he's all in, living and breathing gold. Fame hasn't slowed him, it's fueled him. But how long can he keep this up? Mining's brutal, risky, unpredictable, and full of setbacks. He's made millions but lost plenty too. Will he ever trade the hard hat for an easier life, step away from the cameras and chase gold quietly? Or is he too addicted to quit? For now, he's still a giant in gold mining. Rich seasons or rough ones, he's not done. But what happens when the gold runs dry? That's the story unfolding. Mining's a monster. One wrong move can sink everything. The smart ones adapt and push through, and they're the ones who come out on top. Take Gold Rush numbers. It's not just digging shiny stuff for quick cash. The show's an adventure, sure, but the reality's way tougher. Miners risk it all, money, time, their sanity, for a handful of nuggets. Some strike it rich, some crash hard, and others barely scrape by. Check out Season 3. Todd Hoffman's crew finally nailed it, hauling over 800 ounces, banking more than $1 million. Pretty solid. But Parker, the young hotshot, was already stealing the spotlight. While Hoffman celebrated, Parker casually pulled nearly 200 ounces like it was a breeze. Dakota Fred grabbed 160 plus, but he couldn't touch the kid. Then Season 4 hit, and Parker went all in, leasing Scribner Creek. He raked in over 800 ounces, teaming up with Rick Ness. They blasted past 1,000 ounces, leaving Hoffman eating dust and looking like a newbie. By now, it was clear who was dominating Gold Rush. Hoffman was just scrambling to stay relevant. Season 5 rolled around, and the numbers made everyone else look like rookies. The top dog mined over 2,500 ounces of gold, nearly $3 million. Hoffman's crew, still clawing for relevance, managed 1,300 plus ounces, pocketing over $1.5 million. Respectable, sure, but next to the leader, it was like a go-kart racing a Ferrari. Season 6 cranked up the intensity. Tony Beats, the grizzled veteran, jumped in with his family and an old-school dredge, snagging 700 plus ounces. But the top miner? Untouchable, with 3,300 plus ounces worth almost $3.5 million. Hoffman had a decent year with just over 3,000 ounces, but he was still trailing. No gold here, just burning time, they muttered. The ground was tough, but the leader didn't blink. Season 7? Insane. The team mined 4,300 plus ounces, over $5 million. Tony's dredge crew hit 2,000 plus ounces, but the gap grew. One guy was setting the pace, no doubt. Season 8 was total domination. 6,200 plus ounces, a massive $7.5 million haul. Tony held strong with 3,600 plus ounces, banking over $4 million. It was obvious who was outsmarting and out-hustling everyone. Then, Season 9 raised the stakes sky high, a 7,000-ounce goal at Scribner Creek. They didn't just hit it, they crushed it with 7,400 plus ounces worth nearly $9 million. Rick Ness, trying to shine solo, barely cleared 1,000 ounces. Tony aimed for 6,000 but landed at 4,400. Another victory for the champ, another tough break for the rest. Season 10 showed pure smarts. The total dipped 200 ounces from last time, but sharper moves and higher gold prices meant more cash anyway. The leader wasn't just mining, he was mastering the game. By Season 10's end, over $10 million in gold was banked. Rick Ness, though, struggled after switching to Duncan Creek, barely breaking even. Tony Beats moved to Paradise Hill and still pulled over 2,200 ounces. The competition was fierce, but one guy was clearly outwitting the pack. Fast forward to Season 14, the goal was 5,000 ounces. Did they hit it? Nah, they smashed it with 7,300 plus ounces, worth nearly $15 million. Tony aimed for 6,000, but faced hiccups, landing at 3,000 plus. Rick, back after a break, scored 1,100 plus ounces, over $2 million. The numbers don't lie. One miner's in a league of his own. It's hard finding folks who can get to the Klondike, he said. Too many borders to cross. That's gold rush for you. It's not just digging and hoping. It's strategy, grit, and knowing when to take a chance. Some, like Hoffman, took ages to get it. Bad weather, breakdowns, and rotten luck tanked plenty of seasons, but the sharp ones always rose above. The wins? No accident. It's about finding smarter ways to mine, cutting royalty costs, snagging the right gear, even jetting to Australia to learn tricks from other pros. That's why the victories keep piling up. No fear of shaking things up. Sure, Gold Rush amps up the drama, but it also shows how brutal this game is. One bad season can bury you, one wrong move can cost years, and one big score can change everything. Parker Schnabel cracked the formula, and as long as he stays sharp, the gold keeps coming. Every season, fans tune in. Will records tumble? Will Tony finally catch up? Will a new star rise? The gold's still out there, but only the toughest and smartest will grab it. So, what about Chris Doumitt? Did the wild pressure push him out, or is there more to his stunning exit? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest.